All right, guys. Part three, more on annuities. This will be the final video of the three videos in sequence. I guess that's the way you would say that. All right, gang. Let's do it. There's only three problems, and I think they're pretty short ones. So let's get this done. Number one, at the end of each month, $425 is deposited into a savings account paying 3.95% interest compounded monthly. The balance after 12 years is $55,842. What is the amount? So we're looking for dollars of interest earned. Now I tell you, it's tempting here to just grab TVM Solver and start plugging and chugging, but you don't need that. Uh, you don't need it at all. You contribute $425 for 12 years monthly. Yeah, wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So you get 61,200. You end up with $55,842. So you actually lost money. This problem makes no sense. Now, so what you would do, you would think that with that what you end up with, if this $61,200, I'm kind of glad this happened in a way, and I kind of wish it hadn't. I need to check my numbers better, but if you contribute $425 a month for 12 years, you're going to have 61,200 unless I did something wacky there. And if you end up with only 55,842, then you've lost what, 6,000 or $5,400. So the amount of interest earned is actually you've lost money. So, and it happens. It's happened to me in the stock market. Actually, I have one mutual fund that I have less in it right now than the contributions that I've made. And that's just the way some things go. So, but anyway, the game plan here would have been just as I laid it out, and you would take the big number, which is what you end up with, minus the amount of your contributions, your investment, and that difference would be the interest earned. So, this is an unfortunate case where the person lost money. Number two, a loan of $250,000 is to be amortized over 8 years at a term of 10.1% compounded quarterly. Okay, so guys, big letters. So quarterly payments and then a 50,000 balloon payment at the end of the term. Okay, well, this is interesting. So what do we need to do here? So what we have is we have these periods that we, in over 8 years, quarterly. 8 times 4 is 32. So we're going to have 32 payments because, again, we're paying quarterly payments 4 times a year for 8 years, so we're going to have 32 payments. At the end of this, what we need to do is we need to have $50,000 as the amount due because we're going to make a balloon payment at the end of the term, so 50,000 left. So calculator works perfectly for this. This will be cool. So 8 times 4 is 32. I don't want any silly mistakes here. All right. The interest rate is 10.1. Gosh, I wish I could get 10.1. The present value is 250,000. And we want to let that be 0 for now. And we want to end up with 50,000. So we want to end up, our future value wants to be, we want to take this initial amount of 250,000, reduce it down to 50,000, because that's going to be the amount of the balloon payment at the end of the term. So all we got to do is come in and see what the payment is to achieve that. So the payment would be $12,516.32. So that gets us down to the 50,000 that, again, we're going to pay with the balloon payment. All right, cool. All right, final question. A family purchased a condominium for $265,000, taking out a 25-year mortgage. I tell you what brought this up. I just made this problem up because I know it's going to be on your final exam or something like this. I've been watching way too much. I don't know if you guys watch HDTV, but there's like Caribbean Travel and House Hunters International. So what I want to end up doing, I want to buy a condominium in Mexico because I like to go diving down there. So that made me thinking about this. We'll see if it happens. Probably won't, but it'll depend on scholarships. So how much interest is paid in the first month? All right, so let's see what's going on here. Let's put the information in here. So 25 times 12. So you guys are going to come and see me if I get a condominium in Mexico? Be neat to have class down there, wouldn't it? 5.95. See, I messed up. I need to go down here and set the 12 and 12. Otherwise, it's so easy to forget. 5.95, present value 265,000. In this case, we want to reduce to 0. And we want to calculate our payment. So our payment is $1699.31. Now, every payment you have to think of as accomplishing two functions. One, part of it is in interest. It's paying the bank to let you borrow that money. And the second is the amount that goes against principal. These two values will add up to your total amount. Now, the interest is going to be really easy to find because the interest can be found by just taking P times R times T for the first month, which is going to be 265,000 times the rate times the time, which is 1/12 because we're doing just 1 month. A lot of students will forget that. They'll just multiply 0.0595 times 1 or something goofy like 25 and they get something crazy. We want it for the first month, so that's 1/12 of a year. So 265,000 times 0.0595 times 1 divided by 12. So the interest is $13.96. Now, to find the part that goes against the principal, all we have to do is take this and subtract that. Now, I'm going to do it this way. It's going to come out a negative number, but I know that it just does because of the way I ordered the numbers. So you can see that that number plus that number equals the total payment. So so how much interest is paid in the first month? 1313.96. How much of the first month's payment is applied to reduce the principal? 385.35. What is the unpaid balance after the first month? Well, you can do this one of two ways. One thing you could do is you could take the $265,000 and subtract which one of these numbers? Well, clearly it's going to be this one against the principal. So we've reduced the principal down to a whopping 264,614.65. What's another way we could do this? The balance key. The balance key after 1 month. Sometimes I lose my mind here. Oh, guys, I'm going crazy here. All right, that has to be in the home screen. And what you'll see is you'll see something that looks very familiar to what we just got. This number and this number are the same because they should be. All right. Which one does it for you? Do you like working this out like this, or do you like referring to the number created by technology? I don't know. It's up to you. I would feel much better with this because sometimes and I've done it a few times in these videos. I'll do something goofy like transpose and change this to like 256,000 or do something crazy. So I prefer to do things with technology because I have a tendency to make silly little mistakes. Transpose numbers, add 2 and 5 and get 9 or something crazy. All right, gang, that's it. You should be, if you've watched all of these videos, you should be very, very well prepared to take your assignment. And I think this would be a great place for a quiz. So this is a quiz, probably, well, I don't know what number it is. But here's the way you get, here's the way you get credit for this. This is going to be a 25-point quiz. And just send an email to and in the subject line just put quiz math 1170 and take a guess at this. What are Dr. Darbro's 3 favorite hobbies? This is going to be fun, and see what you come up with. I see how much you've got to know me over these. I have no idea. I just made that up. I have no idea. There was no game plan. This just came up. So throughout the semester, I've talked about things I like to do. I'm just curious, what 3 things do you remember? And let's say you only remember 2. Well, okay, I'll give you your 25 points. But the main thing is that you watch the video to the end, and you're going to get credit for this quiz. So get this to me by... so you have a homework assignment that's due on the material that's taught in this video. As long as this quiz is submitted by the due date on the assignment that corresponds to this video, you will get the quiz of credit for 25 points. If I don't get it or it's submitted late, then you will not get credit for the quiz. So, guys, have a good one. Sorry for going on so long, but I figure we'll have a little bit of fun. I'll see what you guys see what you know about me. Take care.